Good day all, RobotnikHolmes here. If the fallout and fate of Dr. Eggman stories were the levels of this metaphorical game we're playing, I guess the battle for Angel Island could be considered the final boss. IDW Sonic has already started out as a semi-sequel to Sonic Heroes so far, so it's only natural that the first official arc ends with a squad of various heroes coming together to challenge Neo Metal Sonic and his Egg Fleet. Is it predictable? A little bit. Are they my favourite issues? Not really. Do we know how it's going to end? Mildly, if you can detect the plot armour stopping any of these guys from being down for the count. But do good things happen that make this big ol' showdown worth reading? Yes! A couple new and unexpected developments come about in these 4 issues, including the introduction of a villainous mainstay for the series. Sure, I'm excited to get into Dr. Platypus, aren't I? But I'll rein myself back from going into spoilers. That's what a large chunk of this fricking video is for after all. So let's see how the final battle with Metal goes. Be sure to grab some popcorn, everyone. And for real, spoilers for these issues and also the final boss of Sonic Heroes. I might bring it up a lot in my comparisons, and the last thing I'd want to do is piss off a fan of my videos who just so happens to not play to the end. Ah! Hexbot! What the hell, mate? Is your memory still scrambled by any chance?
Alas!
I'd suggest you roll over to Omochow for guidance on repairs. They should be in my closet or something for some reason.
I am Amnesia!
What is up with that guy today? Anyway, on to the main subject. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. In this video, we are looking at issues 9 to 12 of Sonic the Hedgehog by IDW Publishing. My foot still hurts. Look at this cover! My words, Lamar Wells, how do you do it? These artists make them awesome as hell sometimes. The main cover is rad as hell, but the variant covers are drawn with just as much grace, I assure you. Yardley's old-style motivational poster type of cover and Fordrain's character ensemble are greatly appreciated. Love the expressions in the latter. Here we've got the Fun Gang, and over here there's the Sap Squad. Hashtag not my team dark. Issue number 9's story, The Battle for Angel Island Part 1, opens up with a quick monologue by Neo Metal Sonic, basically detailing his plans that have been built up over the course of like 4 cliffhangers. He is one spiky dude. The good guys at Resistance HQ plan a course of attack for their full-on assault on the now conquered Angel Island, which includes the efforts of nearly every good guy we've met so far. And they aim to take back Knuckles' home, knock down the mechanical wings now attached to the island, and get the Master Emerald from Neo's grasp. Don't blame yourself there, Radred. Sega write you to be stupid again. For the coming raid, the group are split into 3 separate teams. 2 of them will deal with the Egg Fleet's parking lot and decimate the metal wings, and another shall go in to confront Neo Metal directly in the scientist statue. Tails and co give some thought to allowing Blaze to battle Neo when she's in her Burning Blaze form, but they reconsider due to the villain's data copying abilities. But Amy has an idea for how to utilise her abilities. More on that later. While the Resistance battleship heads to the floating island, we get a couple of pages of the heroes in their downtime, such as of Sonic being totally chill and giving Whisper her space, while Shadow broods in the background, and the Wolf Girl glares at him ominously. What else? Blaze and Amy reflect on their past interactions and how far Blaze has come since then. And Silver, Tangle and the Chaotix play a game of cards, with the lemur doing her damnness to cheat even though she gets a worse hand in the process. It's not all fun and games for long, however, because as soon as the ship reaches its destination, they find themselves under heavy fire from the Egg Fleet. Don't know why they're not flying around and instead just laying on the wings. Letting their transport crash as a distraction, Team 1 goes down to destroy the metal wing, Team 3 rides off on extreme gear to the final battle, and Team 2, bloody burning Blaze, goes out on her own to deal with the other wing on her own, which she later utterly demolishes in a huge fire blast. Go Blaze. Team 3, consisting of Sonic and Knuckles, and later Shadow. He's supposed to be here, but he wants to break the rules all the time because he's a dumbass. Break into the enclosed Emerald Altar and aim to beat up Neo Metal Sonic together. But lo and behold, the robot dude has a trick up his metal sleeve. Taking cues from Mecha Sonic from Sonic and Knuckles, Neo uses the power of the Master Emerald to transform into a kind of pseudo super state. And what an image to end this issue on. Nice use of song lyrics here and also there. Looks like Neo's gonna show these guys what he's made of now. Issue number 10's cover by Adam Bryce Thomas is just so beautifully done. I love the use of colours, I love the character poses, I love the metal. It's like a full-on movie poster, and it sure does leave an impression. It reminds me a little of that Sonic Universe cover, but with good guys instead. Yardley and Four Drains covers focus more on Neo's new form and Sonic and Knuckles, respectively, the latter being a cool homage to the game's title screen, but with an oh crap look on their faces. The battle for Angel Island Part 2 begins right where we left off, with the Hedgehog and Echidna facing off against Super Metal. And to put it bluntly, they are not having the best time. While Amy and the others continue to destroy the metal wing, Tails hotwires an entire egg fleet ship and has it finish off the thing. Even though everyone else is still on it, but nobody gets hurt at the very least. Look at Tangle slam-dunking Vector over there. I'm glad he's not dead. While all this is going on, we are treated to a look at the life of Mr. Tinker, and all seems well, almost too well. That is until Ruff and Tumble make a reappearance, and under the orders of a mysterious employer, they drag him away to a secluded location. Where exactly? Wait until the next issue to find out. Ruff, what are you doing? You dick. Back at the Emerald Altar, Shadow saves the heroes in the last second, using a Chaos Spear that ultimately cancels out Neo's super form, and he proceeds to have his vengeance and beat the crap out of him. However, this proves to be a very bad thing. As Sonic reminds him, Neo can copy anyone's data, and with the essence of Sonic, Shadow, and the Master Emerald in his possession, the dude starts to beast out. The trio make a tactical retreat as Neo begins to cocoon himself within a liquidy sphere made up of the surrounding metal altar and also the entire Eggman statue. The island begins to descend, as its power source no longer sits in its designated spot, and out of the liquidy orb emerges a monstrous and fairly similar final boss amid a raging thunderstorm. His metal overlord form, here called Master Overlord, makes its reappearance, and now the true final battle can begin. And as the teaser for the next issue puts it, everyone and their grandma are gonna beat the crap out of him now. Love John Gray's big old crowd shots, especially when they look as cool as this. Look at all the bloody detail, and Holmes had to colour all this. It blows my damn mind. The other covers are passable, definitely overshadowed by the main one, even though the one of Sonic and Shadow with Metal Sonic's eye in the background comes at a close second. The main trio need backup, and they spend the next few minutes avoiding giant crystal clusters launched out of him. It's weird, but it's surprisingly accurate to the game. But Blaze's Soul Emerald powers are gonna have to wait to charge up, so it seems the Resistance doesn't have an edge in battle anymore. Regardless, the plan is to remove the Master Emerald from Neo's body, and the heroes work in tandem with Tails' fish ship to distract Master Overlord while Knuckles whacks him a million times. Keep trying, buddy. And when that doesn't work, everyone comes together and takes the giant Robo-Dragon head on. They may be small, but as a group they can surely take him down. Elsewhere, Mr. Tinker is strapped to an operating table by Ruff and Tumble, the location appearing to be the villain's old final egg base from Sonic Adventure, and the baddie's employer steps in. This is Dr. Starline, a suave-looking Eggman fanboy who aims to bring the good doctor back from the brink by means of fricking electroshocks. Looks like his amnesia's finally gonna wear off. I knew it wouldn't last. Meanwhile, the final battle on Angel Island starts to near its end, with everyone scrapping Master Overlord with their respective powers, Silver rescuing everyone when the big guy shakes them off, Tails ramming the bloody ship into him, and a relieved Knuckles surgically removing the Master Emerald right out of him, returning it to the altar and allowing Angel Island to rise up to the skies once again. The day is saved, Master Overlord is no more. Tails is shown to be alright after the ship exploded, and in one panel we see Metal Sonic has reverted back to his original form, though he's the robot equivalent of being unconscious. Offline? That's probably it. The heroes all take a well-deserved breather, the newbies both getting praises from the other characters, all except for Shadow, who's probably hungry for some muck vengeance right now. I know I am. The issue ends after the heroes sheepishly state that everything is good now that Metal Sonic is down and Eggman has reformed, though the latter is quickly called into question with the end page of Starline and the Bash Brothers. Okay, he's not back to normal yet, but that's what the last issue in this video is for. Metal Sonic in chains. Certainly an eye-catching image. You'd think this issue would be about a questioning of the villain or something, but sadly it appears I have been misled. No interrogations here. It would have been cool to see old Metal be interrogated, SpongeBob style.
What color is my underwear?
The variants this time are just bits of Starline's reference sheet, and one of Eggman working on what appears to be dolls of the heroes. At least the Tails doll isn't there. What isn't there can't hurt you, right? Issue number 12, The Cost of the Battle for Angel Island. A bit of a mouthful there. For reasons I can only assume to be because they are good guys, Tails has started to repair Metal Sonic after the climactic battle, regardless of how murderous the dude is, especially when Sonic's in the picture. The good guys offer him a life of freedom as his master is seemingly gone from the picture. And Metal even thinks it over for a second, but his evil programming seems to be stronger than the power of friendship, and he rockets right out of the lab after giving Sonic a mild injury. They don't even feel the need to go after the villain, and instead respect his decision to go about and do whatever he likes. And Tails states that at least Eggman isn't here to repair and weaponize him again. Yeah, about that! Mr. Tinker is shown to still be his usual self, albeit with an interest in Badnik building again, no matter how often Dr. Starline tries to convert him back to his old personality. The pair of lackey bots seem to prefer their new boss as well, as he isn't abusive towards them both. But then comes Metal Sonic, fresh from being brought back online by the heroes, and this is where Eggman's memories finally come flooding back. It's almost heartfelt that repairing Metal Sonic is what brings back his old personality. And the good doctor is fricking pissed! After a quick change of clothing, Eggman makes Dr. Starline his official lackey for the next evil plan, with Dumb and Dumber over here being the perfect minion fodder. The platypus dude shows off his Warp Topaz, a gemstone that gives him portal powers, though Eggman doesn't want anything to do with that, and he also gives him the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Where'd he get those? Does that mean the Doctor has finally won now? I feel like this should be more of a big thing, but the issue just glosses over it. The rest of this issue has Sonic running up to everyone, chilling out on Angel Island, and asking what they have planned after they go back to the surface. Knuckles decides to leave the Resistance and disband it, since the Eggman War is finally over. Amy is shown to be unimpressed with Knuckles' decision, and the Chaotix barge in and expect their pay. Tangle and Whisper seem to be getting along fairly well, even if the latter is still not used to group interactions. Blaze and Silver are planning on leaving for the Soul Dimension and staying in the present day, respectively. Sonic's such a bro. And Rouge just lounges in a deck chair waiting to harass Knuckles and take the Master Emerald from under his nose. Her intentions are never not ambiguous. The issue ends with Tails flying the Egg Fleet ship out of Angel Island, and the good guys going back to their daily lives during their break in their fighting villain schedules. All's well and ends well, only it doesn't end well because Eggman is back to being his bad old self, and with the eager assistance of Starline along with Rough and Tumble, it seems the big bad is ready for his next plot. We don't know it yet, but it is quite diabolical, let me tell you. And so ends the Battle for Angel Island storyline. Golly, as much as I really enjoyed it, most of these issues felt like a big bombastic blur. I'm glad this climactic battle took place across more than one issue, but like, say, episodes of Naruto, the battles felt instead like it was stretched across multiple issues to a ludicrous degree. That's probably my biggest gripe with the Battle for Angel Island story. Starting with the bad here, the only real difference between issues was the opponent's current form, which changed into bigger, more powerful forms as it went on. Perhaps Dragon Ball Z fans would get a kick out of the format of a villain's escalating power level, but I certainly didn't. Also, I'm not sure how Neo Metal Sonic started to become less powerful and freshening as it went on. I liked the look of his Master Overlord form. It looked like it would have taken days to draw. Seriously, props to Yardley on the design. But I'm rather aghast that he was felled by the good guys just running at him. In issue number 11 specifically, he got knocked down a few pegs in terms of fresheningness and devolved into a typical monologuing villain. Not helped by the fact that we didn't really get to see how powerful he was on panel. He mostly just yelled at the heroes a lot. They were somewhat threatening yells, for certain, but I still had my grievances with him and the final battle as a whole. Super Neo Metal Sonic was a nice surprise, however. I just wished some of that iconography and raw power was properly carried over into his third form. I'm just realising this now, but wasn't Metal Overlord defeated in the game by Super Sonic and a pair of tagalongs? What happens to Master Overlord in this issue? Either he's weaker than he is in that game, or the heroes are just that strong and resourceful this time around. The plot of issue number 12 didn't set well with me either. The heroes repairing Metal Sonic and letting him free could very well have been them signing their own death certificates. Don't forget your I'll be back next fight sign on your way out, Metal. Yeah, I know it's because the story needs to get back to form and it can't progress if Metal Sonic isn't a villain, but they could have done more to probe into his motivations beyond his programmed loyalty. An attempted handshake doesn't cut it, so why not just keep him in chains? Tell Eggman I'm holding your son hostage or something. There could have been a decent dive into his character, and I'm put off by the fact that we got nothing out of it other than an iconic but ironically unimportant image. I'm sorry, the cover just really threw me for a loop. Those were probably my only big problems I had with these 4 issues, as everything around that final battle I found much more enjoyable. Like, the characters all getting their moments. In big ensemble pieces and crossovers, sometimes some characters get left on the wayside and only get an appearance and like 2 lines apiece. But you know, I saw a lot of neat moments, both in and out of battle, that showed just how well the cast works together, more straightforward personality changes aside. Sonic may be my favourite among the group. He's still the aloof, hedgy boy, and more often than not speeds away from the conversation, but he has his many moments that make his interactions with the others extremely endearing. Look at him here, being a totally considerate ally. Speaking of which, I liked the characters too. Not all of them mingled with the rest of the cast, and generally just kept to the shadows, but those that did gave us some fun experiences during their downtime. Even in the heat of battle there were bits that made me joyful, and that's probably just for the interactions. I loved the banter and their insight into their characters, okay? It's more than the games gave them. It almost felt like it snuck past me, but number 11 introduced us to a new bad guy, and his design and personality are pretty decent and refreshing in an Eggman minion. Dr. Starline has a cool design too, brought to life by Evan Stanley, and his giddiness and admiration of the series' big bad may well be tested as the comic goes on. But for now, I rather liked him and his over-the-top fanboying, and his workaholic Eggman sycophant personality. His design is also a homage to, and I quote, white echidna characters from past comics. And you know, I can totally see the similarities here. A small bit of off-topic shout-outs, but did you guys hear his voice in Adrenaline Dub's videos? Wolfblade93 captured his voice perfectly.
I am Dr. Starline, and I am indeed the one behind your present concerns.
Metal Sonic, in his base form, had some mildly touching moments with Eggman in issue 11 as well. It's the deepest we ever go into his personality, and I loved the way the little flashbacks were drawn, showing the two having an almost father-son relationship. It was great. More of this, please. Shall I go into the art? It's a better time than any. As always, the illustrations are top-notch for IDW Sonic. Not just for all the different fight scenes, with new Metal Sonic showing off the sense of scale and all the detail in Angel Island in the background, but also in all the different character postures. Sonic had some really cool ones. And Blaze received a ton of attention, and I enjoyed how Yardley drew her. He really does have a knack for drawing Burning Blaze appear cool as hell. And on one panel I think it was a homage to how he drew her on the cover of Sonic Universe number 58. Evan Stanley did some of the art as well, I think she and Yardley did halfsies on the last 2 issues. And I might have a slight preference for her style and character expressions. Shadow was mopey and vengeance-driven as always, but at least he looked cool and showed his fangs a lot. I always love that Stan Lee emphasises that aspect of his design. It's cute. And Rough and Tumble, the duo were delightfully doofy. When they interact with other villains, they get into all sorts of hijinks, and there was always some fun moments between them. Even in their introduction verse, they're loud and bombastic, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Also, did he dab? I'm all for memes, and I love these background poses. And Tumbles, what are you doing? Honestly, these illustrations add a lot to the charm. Yardley and Stanley's contributions to the art department really saves the Battle for Angel Island stories for me, as without their dynamic panels of awesomeness, I might have just grown bored of the final battle and the last issue. So, props to them. As the ending for the first official story arc and a kind of send-off to their Sonic Forces-like setting, these issues did an okay job at hinting at what exciting events are on the horizon. Hexbot, you're just surfing around my room, aren't you? Where's Omo-Chow when you need them? Only ever appearing when the moment calls for it, I guess. Anyway, rating time. Issue number 9 sets up a big old fight between the Resistance and the Parked Egg Fleet. As the beginning of the climactic showdown with Neo Metal Sonic, I think it was pretty well handled, so for that, I'll give it a rating of 7 out of 10. Issue number 10 was like the last issue, but on super steroids. The battles were more intense, the good guys went to more desperate measures to ensure that they succeed in their mission, and behind the scenes things started to escalate in Windmill Village. It continues the fast pace, has some nice dialogue between team members, and proved to be exciting enough to grab my attention. It's equally good, so it gets an equal 7 out of 10. Issue number 11 felt like a bit of a step back, both in stakes and the quality of the battle itself. While I still thought the showdown was awesome, Master Overlord proves to be more of a pushover than initially assumed, and the action started to become more predictable. I felt it might have ended too abruptly when it could have been more thought out. The art was still amazing, and again, it gave us Dr. Starline, who was probably the most remembered part of the entire issue thanks to his iconic entrance. All in all, despite its moments, I'll have to grade this issue lower than before, so it gets a 6 out of 10 overall. Issue number 12 acted more as an extended ending to the Battle for Angel Island saga. Not much happened except Sonic checking out each individual character to see what they were going to do in the future, which didn't add much. It could have just been done across later issues instead of all at once, and I think this issue might have suffered for it, despite all of the moments shared between characters and well-drawn illustrations. Am I salty? Possibly, I'm more sugary myself, but I shall give issue number 12 a 6 out of 10 as well. And for those who are new to the series that are asking, does it get better? For sure, it does. After a couple more arcs and setups, let me tell you, IDW Sonic goes into a startlingly new direction for the series. There's not really anything like it. For the next IDW Sonic video, I'll be covering the next 4 issues? I may as well. They are not really grouped together, but I think the usual format still stands. Thank you ever so much for watching, if indeed you still are, and I'll see you in the next video. And cut! Huh? What are you doing here, Rust Bucket?
Would you look at that? I don't have amnesia anymore, bye! I'm going back!
Whatever, see that you do. Glad to see he's still going along with his nerd series. But who's going to focus on the Archie comic stuff?